Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning everyone. Selamat pagi. Terima kasih sudah klik video ini. Baik, selamat datang di kelas saya. Perkenalkan terlebih dahulu. Nama saya adalah Ibu Tusiana, biasa dipanggil oleh Ibu Ana. Untuk pertemuan hari ini, kita ada tema yang menarik, yaitu bernegosiasi. Or negotiation, almost same in English. Bernegosiasi, baiklah, saya akan membelinya. Okay, and for being more familiar with Japanese atmosphere, so I would like to call you Mas or Mbak before I call your name. Okay, I'm so grateful because there is one participant join me. Hello, good morning, Periza. Can you listen to my voice well?
Morning, ma'am. Yes,
Okay, I do appreciate you for joining my Zoom meeting. Okay, so it is very good for you to join me right now because I will start with my explanation. Okay, actually, I have 39 students, but I don't know why you are still, what is it? Maybe you have other schedule, but it is okay. So I would like to make it short. The objective of today's meeting, as you can see on my slide, number one, you have to know the vocabularies or kosakata related to negosiasi or negotiation. And then number two, I want you to know how to give questions. Okay, so dalam bahasa Indonesia, ketika kita melakukan negosiasi, or if we do negotiate, of course, there will be question and answer, right? And then I want you to do that way. You have to ask questions, and then you have to answer that questions. And you also have to know how to use karena dan maka. So they are two items that you have to study for grammar atau tata bahasa. Kemudian yang ketiga, I want you to listen and also to read negotiation conversations. And then number four, I want you to practice negotiation. Okay, I hope you are ready with all these items. I would like to move to the next slide. Okay, as you can see on my slide, it happens in Indonesia. Jadi di Indonesia itu seperti inilah pasar tradisional. I don't know what happened in your country, but I guess it's almost similar, right? When you go to the traditional market, you can meet the seller and then you can bargain to to get the good price for purchasing the product. So it also happened to this country. Kita bisa pergi ke pasar, to the market, and then we bargain or do negotiate. And after that, we can get, let's say, cheaper price for the product we want. Okay. Now, class, I would like to tell you about tax negosiasi, or in English, negotiations. It is same, ya. So, tax negosiasi adalah teks yang bertujuan untuk mencapai kesepakatan di antara pihak-pihak yang mempunyai kepentingan yang berbeda. In this case, so negotiation is conducted between seller and buyer. Seller wants to get profit automatically, and also for the buyer, they want to have good products but cheaper price. So they have different, different goals, yeah. But they have to do negotiations to get win-win solution for that problems. Sorry, for that negotiations. And then class, seperti yang bisa dibaca di sini, tujuan negosiasi. Anyway, Periza, can you read Bahasa Indonesia text?
Little, ma'am.
Okay, so you know what? For Indonesian sentences, you have to read exactly what is written. So like this, we would like to say tujuan, right? It is different in English. In English, what is written, but we can pronounce differently, yeah. So letter A can be pronounced by O, can be pronounced by a, and so forth. Like what, banana, market. But in Bahasa Indonesia, it is exactly same. So I can say, Periza, that in Bahasa Indonesia, it is simpler. So I believe if you struggle to know, to practice Bahasa Indonesia, maybe in one year, I guess, you can be fluent. Okay, Periza, can you help me to read number 1 for tujuan negosiasi? Help me, please.
Number 1.
Mencapai. Number 1 only.
Oke. Mencapai kesepakatan yang memiliki kesamaan persepsi, saling pengertian, dan persetujuan.
Wow, that's awesome. Yes, that is correct. Yeah. Okay, so that's the goal for negotiation. I guess it is similar in English, right? We want to have agreement between two parties, seller and buyer, for this agreement, to get agreement. Okay, next, let's get started with this ciri-ciri or characteristics of negotiation text. Number 1, it should be win-win solution or saling menguntungkan. And then it is for practical goals. It is for memprioritaskan kepentingan bersama, prioritizing what is it? All goals, both goals, prioritizing all goals, both goals. And also, yes, it is like the way to get solution. You have products, you want the products want to be sold, so of course you have to meet the buyer, and then you have to, what is it, you have to give satisfaction for the buyer, including for the price, for the quality, things like that. Okay, so actually they are all the theory. I guess it is so easy because actually it is similar in English, yeah. So let's get started with the structure. So for structure of negotiation, there are 6. Let me share you. So what are they? Number 1, it is orientations. It is like opening, okay. And then number 2, permintaan or demand. So what the buyers wants, what buyer needs. So it is permintaan. And after that, pemenuhan. So it is like the seller's capacity to satisfy the buyer's demand. And after that, we have penawaran or bargaining. And after that, agreement. And after that, closing. Okay, so actually I speak in English more than Bahasa Indonesia because I'm afraid you do not understand what I'm explaining. But if we have to say in Bahasa Indonesia, because this one penawaran or bargaining or negotiating. Number 2, persetujuan, agreement. And after that, closing. Okay, now I have dialogue. And Mbak Periza, you know, in Japanese, we usually call mas or mbak before the name. Yeah, so mbak, it is for female student, and then mas for male student or male person. Okay, so now, Mbak Periza, can you unmute your microphone because let's have dialogue with me. You will be penjual and I will be pembeli. Pembeli in English, it is buyer, penjual, seller. Okay, so I'm buyer, I'm the buyer, and Mbak Periza the seller or penjual. Are you ready, Mbak Periza? Saya
Yes.
duluan ya. Saya lebih dahulu. Permisi Mbak, boleh lihat-lihat dulu?
Selamat siang. Silakan Mas. Mau beli barang apa?
Saya mau beli laptop yang bisa untuk mengakses aplikasi belajar online nih Mbak. Tapi budget saya pas-pasan. Kira-kira ada yang cocok nggak Mbak?
Oh, buat belajar online ya Mas. Sebentar
Cek.
saya Mas. Kebetulan ada laptop yang baru dari Lenovo. What is it? Lenovo nih. Laptop ini specs-nya bagus. Sekali
Cocok?
cocok untuk belajar online.
Storage-nya?
Storage-nya juga sampai
120?
yes, 120. Where is it?
Gigabyte. GB atau
Okay.
gigabyte. Oke. Wah, boleh saya lihat, Mbak. Harganya berapa? Harganya berapa, Mbak?
Silahkan Mas. Harganya
5 juta.
5 juta rupiah saja Mas.
Barangnya oke sih, Mbak. Tapi harganya masih bisa kurang nggak, Mbak? Bagaimana kalau 3.500.000 rupiah saja?
Wah, maaf, Mas belum bisa kalau harga segitu. Ini spesifikasinya oke. Iho bisa untuk buka aplikasi belajar online, main game, edit video juga bisa, Mas. Begini saja, silakan Mas beli laptop ini pas
4 juta.
4 juta rupiah. Bagaimana?
Boleh dikurangi sedikit lagi nggak, Mbak? Kalau boleh, 3.800.000 rupiah. Saya bayar cash sekarang.
Bagaimana ya? Oke deh. 3.800.000 ya, Mas. Saya siapkan barangnya sekalian saya install sistem operasinya. Ditunggu sebentar ya Mas.
Baik, terima kasih Mbak. Ini uangnya silahkan dihitung dulu.
3
juta.
3.800.000 rupiah. 800.000 pas. Terima kasih kembali Mas. Ini ada garansinya 1 tahun ya.
Terima kasih ya Mbak. Semoga semakin laris. Okay, we finish reading this dialogue. Wow. Big applause for you, Mbak Periza. Because you also have a good intonation for reading this. Okay, so like you can see on this dialogue, there are also 6 steps. So number 1, it is orientation or orientasi. It is like greeting, welcoming the buyer, or can be from the seller. Yeah, it depends on the situation. And after that, permintaan. So what the buyer want to have. So as you can see here, the buyer wants to buy laptop for studying, for online studying. And after that, pemenuhan. So the seller give options. What can the buyer buy for depends on the buyer's needs, and after that bargaining, and after that agreement and closing. Okay, so you can check them out later on. Now I move to the next slide. Okay, I also have here some readings related to negotiation. So I can say that for negotiation, it happens around us, not only in the formal situation, but also informal situations. So like in the traditional market, or maybe after you graduate from this university, maybe you want to apply jobs, and then you get the job in that office, you can negotiate, so it can be formal and informal situations. And then as you can see on my slide here, it is the sample for informal situations. So I would like to move to the next. If I have more participants, maybe I would like to request them to read, but because I have only one participant so far, so yes, I would like to skip this. Okay, it is the second sample, is the third sample. Okay, now let's move to the vocabularies related to negotiation. Okay, so here there are the most frequent words if you have negotiations. So number one is nego. Nego means negotiate. It is verb atau kata kerja. Jadi kalau misalkan saya ingin negosiasi, maka I want to negotiate. Menawar itu bargain. Jadi kalau can I bargain this product? Bolehkah saya menawar produk ini? Since especially for the modern market, if you go to the mall or supermarket, it is the fixed price, so we cannot bargain. But if it is traditional, we can bargain. And then we also have menjual or sell, membeli, buy, harga, it can be price or cost. How much does it cost? Itu artinya berapa, how much does it cost? Berapa harganya? Berapa harganya produk ini? Murah, itu cheap. But for this harga and murah, they are not verbs, but they are adjective, It is adjective. And then mahal, expensive, setuju, or deal, bagus, good, barang, produk, ini, this, itu, that. Why I also put here, because on the next slide, I want you to create a questions, and you can use this vocabulary, Jadi kalau bertanya, if you want to ask questions, usually in English we have WH questions, right? So what, where, how, which. It also happens in Indonesia, but they have different vocabulary. So what are they? I would like to tell you. So how much itu berapa? I would like to I would like to escape, since I would like to type them out for the questions. I would like to choose the correct layout. Okay, so if it is in that, okay, so as you can see in making questions, so we have some words. So it is number one, berapa, how much, mengapa or why, apa, what, apa or apakah sama, so it can be apa or apakah. And then siapa, who, di mana, where, yang mana, which. Okay, so kalau saya mau tanya, how much does the dress cost? And then with question mark, how much does the dress cost? So kalau di translate ke bahasa Indonesia adalah berapa harga baju ini. Jadi langsung berapa harga baju ini, tidak perlu ada, oh Miss Ana, ini das ini artinya apa di bahasa Indonesia, diartikan apa? Karena kan kalau diartikan artinya ini ya, how much itu berapa, the dress itu dress ya, gaun ya harusnya, maaf. I would like replace with gaun. The dress cost. Cost itu adalah harga. Berapa harga gaun ini? How much does the dress cost? Okay, so in bahasa Indonesia questions, there are no auxiliary verb. It is auxiliary verb and it is main verb ya. Tapi kalau bahasa Indonesia itu tidak ada kata kerja pembantu, kata kerja utama. Seperti ini lagi, mengapa? Jadi, of course, number one, you have to decide what question words that you want to say. Jadi pilih dulu, you choose mau berapa, mengapa, apa, siapa, kemudian adalah yang ditanyakan apa. Karena ini adalah negotiation, maka bisa tentang negotiation yang tadi ya. Mengapa Anda menyukai produk ini, misalkan. In English, we can say, why do you like this product? Why do you prefer saja ya, lebih prefer. Why do you prefer this product? Jadi kalau why do you prefer this product? If you want to translate to bahasa Indonesia, we can say mengapa Anda menyukai produk ini? Jadi,
sorry ma'am.
Yes.
What is menyukai?
Menyukai means like. Saya menyukai, okay. Yes. Jadi, okay, it is better for me to use the empty slide here. Okay, so I would like to tell you how to, okay, where is the correct one? Okay, first, I would like to create English words first, yeah. Andy membeli laptop. Andy membeli laptop. Okay, in English first ya. Andy bought a laptop. So it is English sentence. It is in Indonesia sentence. And then we want to create questions. Kita ingin membuat pertanyaan. Nah, kalau pertanyaan dalam bahasa Inggris, kan kita harus memakai what ya, what, kemudian did, kemudian Andy, kemudian buy. What did Andy buy? Jadi kalau dalam bahasa Inggris itu kan bought, you have to what is it? Have to divide which is auxiliary verb and which is main verb. So it is auxiliary, it is main. But in bahasa Indonesia, kalau kita ingin bertanya what did Andy buy, itu artinya adalah apa yang Andy beli. So, apakah adalah the question word like what yang Andy beli. Jadi membeli ini menjadi beli. Apakah yang Andy beli? Things like that. Do you get what I mean? Okay, I give you the second sample ya. Misalkan Bella pergi ke pasar. I have to translate it into English first. Bella went to go to market. So it is the English sentence. It is Indonesia sentence. Bella pergi ke pasar. Kemudian kalau kita ingin membuat pertanyaan, kalau dalam bahasa Inggris kan where did Bella go? Begitu kan? Berarti Bella go, nanti kan jawabannya, oh Bella went to go to the market. Nah, kalau kita ingin membuat pertanyaan dalam bahasa Indonesia, di mana, jadi where itu di mana, asking, di mana, asking place ya. di mana Bella pergi. So only this. So this simple. So you just put Bella after di mana, kemudian kata kerjanya pergi. Di mana Bella pergi. Okay, next I want Mbak Periza to create English and Bahasa Indonesia questions ya. I give you the statement or sentence first. Bella watch TV. Sorry. Watches TV every morning. Okay, Mbak Periza, can you create an English questions dengan with what question? So, is the question for this? Hello, Mbak Periza, are you with me?
What time or when?
Oh yeah.
When Ella watch
Okay,
TV?
when ya? Okay, when or what time? Yes. Ini kalau dalam bahasa Indonesia nanti kapan ya? What time? Does
What time? Yes.
Ella watch?
Does Ella watch?
Yes. When or what time does Ella watch TV? Nah, kalau kita mau buat bahasa Indonesia, jadi Ella watches itu artinya adalah Ella menonton TV setiap pagi. Kalau kita mau membuat pertanyaan dalam bahasa Indonesia, if you want to create an Indonesian question, so when itu adalah kapan. Kapan? Langsung subjeknya. Subjeknya siapa, Mbak Periza? Subjeknya adalah Ella. Kemudian predikatnya adalah menonton. Kapan Ella menonton TV? And then question mark. So that's easy, right? I mean, for bahasa Indonesia, you don't have to divide this. You don't have to divide. Oh, menonton, ya menonton exactly still same menonton. But in English like this, watches you have to separate auxiliary does and watch for the main. Yeah. So you know the simple one is in bahasa Indonesia, right? So when itu kapan, kemudian subjek, kemudian verb. Okay? Do you is that clear? Next time if I want you, I hope yes. So next, nah, I would like to give you one more question. The next slide. Buatlah 3 kalimat. So I want you to create a questions. For example, dengan di mana, di mana, and then kapan, and then mengapa. So first, if you want to make questions, so make sure you know the first word, the first question word. Jadi kata pertanyaan itu yang pertama. Jadi di mana, kemudian tentukan subjeknya. Subjek biasa nama orang, atau bisa juga noun, ya. Jadi misalkan di mana, setelah itu baru adalah kata kerja, verb. Kemudian diakhiri dengan question mark. So that's the way you create a sentence in bahasa Indonesia. Jadi misalkan di mana Ella membeli baju, then question mark. Okay, so that's that easy. So you only decide the first question word, WH questions words, and after that subject, and after that verb atau kata kerja. Kemudian ini untuk objek atau complement, they are optional. Sometimes you can put them, sometimes no. So it does depend on your questions, how you will make them. Oke, jadi ini ada beberapa yang bisa dipakai. Jadi kalau misalkan mengapa Andi menawar baju itu itu boleh. Jadi membuat kata pertanyaan itu semudah itu. Jadi tinggal di mana, kemudian subjek plus kata kerja. Di mana subjek menawar. Oke, next. Okay, if you are confused, you can tell me, you can ask me questions. Next, I would like to move to the next slide, yeah. Because we have 2 points for the grammar. Okay, so the second grammar that you have to understand is using karena dan maka. So, karena, it is number 1 word, dan yang kedua maka. Jadi, karena, maka. Karena, it means because. So, I have my breakfast because I am hungry. Saya sarapan, saya makan pagi karena saya lapar. Oke, so karena it indicates the reason. Okay, similar in English, right? Because, reasons. Like this, emosi Nagita memuncak karena anaknya dihina oleh orang tak dikenal. Saya sarapan karena saya lapar. Saya belajar bahasa Indonesia karena saya ingin berkomunikasi dengan teman Indonesia saya. Okay, so it is just so easy. So for this karena, you have usually 2 clauses. Jadi one clause to indicate the situation now, and then the second clause why you did it. Okay, so karena, ya. Like this, ayah marah besar karena Lisa pulang larut malam. So in English we call this one complex sentence. Complex sentence, so it has 2 simple sentences. Okay, I would like to move to the next. Next we have maka. Okay. Maka in English it means so or therefore. I have my breakfast, so I'm full now. Saya sarapan, maka saya kenyang. Saya belajar, maka saya lulus tes. I study bahasa Indonesia, so I pass BIPA exam. Oke, jadi because, karena, maka itu so. Okay, so I guess it is not so hard for you to understand, Mbak Eliza. Okay, so that's for the materials today.